in a minute. But let me give these sisters a proper introduction. Y'all know we don't bring anybody into the Dr. Dawn radio show any kind of way. We don't make you sit on the plastic couch like grandma used to. We make you feel comfortable. And I have to give this sister a proper introduction. She's no stranger to the Dr. Dawn radio show. I am Kecia J. Name is trademark. Don't play with her, y'all. But she is an
Ever.
AIDS and cancer survivor. She is an HIV and AIDS educator and activist. She's an author, speaker, CEO. And I think her most proud title is Mommy.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the Dr. Don Radio Show. I am Kecia J. How are you, girl?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me on tonight.
I'm glad you could be here. How old is your daughter now?
She's 4 going on 14.
Well, hey, that's how it is. And we know she's gonna be spoiled rotten this Christmas, honey.
Absolutely, she will be. She deserves to be.
Yeah, she deserves to be. And I tell you, and then I met these two sisters when I was in Alabama recently. Chelsie Perry and Erica Hurd, they are pounding the pavement. They are HIV and AIDS outreach and rural health specialists with Selma Air. Welcome to the Dr. Don Radio Show. Chelsie and Erica, how are you girls?
Great. How are you doing today?
Good. I tell you, I'm just so glad you all could be here. But let's kick this off with, y'all look. I love having conversations like this, right, where we can just be real. But I want to start with you, Kecia J, with this question, and then you, Erica, and Chelsie. Have we forgotten about HIV/AIDS in the midst of COVID, Kecia J? Do you think we have forgotten about it?
Absolutely. It just blew my mind how the government and everybody just really ran to arms over COVID. And I'm not going to play it down like COVID wasn't an issue.
Right,
the
absolutely.
HIV/AIDS has been an issue too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, we need to find a cure, and we're locking everything down, and you need to get tested, and we're giving away free tests and order these tests. And I was just blown away. Like, why wouldn't HIV/AIDS get that same type of connection or energy? Because it's an epidemic that is really plaguing people of color.
And you know what I found interesting? They were doing all these shows about should I worry about dating in the midst of COVID? And I'm like, but there is HIV/AIDS. You know what I mean? So, but again, the news is doing the stories they do, right? But I'm like, wait a minute. So that's how I kind of knew we have kind of put HIV/AIDS under the rug a little unintentionally. So Erica, you and you, Chelsie, what do y'all think?
Well, actually, I think we have because, like I said, because of COVID, and even since I come into this profession, that I didn't know a lot, but I have been eager to learn a lot more than I knew. And I watched people, like I said, I watched them with COVID. They boom, 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 boom. I watched them with some parts of cancer and different types of things. They boom, 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 boom. But I have watched them with HIV, and they really like, okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are now. So that's why we're out here every day trying to make sure that we put the awareness on HIV and AIDS.
That's good.
Personally, I feel like AIDS was forgotten way before COVID even came.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you heard your child come talk to you, or even something across the television about it? I feel like when I was younger in school, I knew who Brian White was. I knew what HIV was. I knew what AIDS was. Nowadays, we don't have no information. We don't even have just a little screen of, hey, do you know what HIV is? What does AIDS stand for? So I think, honestly, AIDS and HIV was forgot about long before COVID.
I can agree with that.
Wow.
So like if we're not putting it on paper or we're not in the room doing it, it's not being heard.
Right.
While we're out here, like Erica said, we're out here. We're making our way to small rural areas. We're making our way to different cities. We're making our way to different towns, and we're putting that information out there. We're testing these people. We're giving them information that we're learning about. and we're just passing it along. So every time we learn something new, like she said, we're eager to learn. Yes. And it's so crazy because if we probably wouldn't have had this job, we probably would have been like one of the people of we don't even know what's going on or about it.
Interesting.
God puts people in the right positions at the right time. That's because true. We're here and we're leading this journey, and there's no way we're finna quit anytime soon.
Amen. That's good. Now, Kecia, that's good. That's good. Now, Kecia, look, you talk about without shame your testimony, but tell us how you came to find out that you were positive.
Well, I had prior to being positive, I was in a relationship, and that relationship, and I'm gonna just be honest.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
In college, I aligned self-esteem with looking pretty. You know, wearing the best clothes, wearing the best shoes, just looking good. But on the inside, I was just, really rotten. So going into this relationship, there are a lot of things that absolutely now, as a woman who's almost 40, I would not accept.
Yeah.
And I kept taking it, right? Because I think young women and women in general, we seek validation from the wrong men who have yet to find validation within themselves. And that's where I was, at that time. So after that relationship was over, there were a lot of things in that relationship that now that I know were signs of the virus entering my system or something not being right. But again, growing up, you're not educated or taught get checked for HIV/AIDS. You're more told don't bring home a baby than you are don't bring home HIV. So once I was diagnosed, I passed out. I was in the shower and the doctors couldn't tell me what it was. So they sent me home. And then I ended up actually passing out again with a fever of 105.7.
Oh, wow.
And it took them 3 to 4 weeks to tell me that I had AIDS. The doctor's bedside manner was horrible. She pretty much was talking to me as if I knew that, or I was already positive that I knew. And I was just kind of like, for what? But, the virus had been dormant in my system. So it took them some time to actually find out exactly what it was. I was on a breathing machine. I had PCP pneumonia.
Wow.
And I will tell anybody that once you're diagnosed, it's a humiliating thing because they don't care who you are, how sick you are. Immediately, they want you to sign over those papers to let the world know you will be on a national database identified by a number. They make you write down your sexual partners. They want you to write down your symptoms. It's definitely a life-changing experience. And in that moment, I guarantee you, it definitely woke me up.
Wow. Did he know he had it?
To be very quite honest with you, I believe so, but he wouldn't be honest about it. And I'm gonna be honest with you because he's very prevalent still to this day in the music industry and in that hip hop world. That's not something you will go to your grave.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
You will go to your grave and you will demonize the woman you're with. You will call her names, which is what I went through. I went through a lot in the city of Houston and people calling me names and so many things that he had started to where by the time I was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, I was like, okay, now really? This is where we are? I got to deal with, all of the hate and the rumors and the lies. Now I have to walk in this. So to be very quite honest, that man will go to his grave with it. And people in his circle, we've chatted, we've talked. And everybody who know, they know.
And I asked the question, but does it matter whether he talks about it or not? You have to take care of you.
Exactly.
And you running him down, he's gonna have to deal with the Lord with that.
Right. And if I can just interject and say, I've had people say that all the time. I actually had Ricky Smiley Morning Show had put my story on there, XO Nicole, and so the media took it and kind of chopped it up for clickbait, however they said. So it went viral, and all these people swarmed me with, "We need to know who it is. We need to know. You need to say it. You're not being, right and empowering women by not saying it. Here's what you don't know: HIV/AIDS carries its own HIPAA laws." Right. So even if I was to say Knick Knack Paddywhack gave me the virus, he could easily shut me down with a non-disclosure or cease and desist just based on defamation because it carries its own laws, right?
Yeah.
The only way you could really make something like that stick is if a multitude of women came out
Right.
and said, "This is what this man is doing to me."
Mm.
So I knew that, knowing who I'm dealing with, the entity he's a part of, I had to be strategic in telling my story, and it has nothing to do with him, because the math gonna always math when I'm
Yeah.
just telling the truth
Right.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day. And so I've always known that. But people who don't know that it carries its own laws, well, or they're gonna say stuff like that.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
but I think that's the importance of educating yourself on it. And I love the fact that you took time you found out you had this, but you did not let it overcome you or defeat you. You still live, you learn what you need to learn, and you learn how to live with it. And you're here now telling your story and your journey. And I feel like that right there is powerful by itself, because we have some people who are in denial, or we have some
Mm.
people who feel like, oh, I'm ugly, I'm disgusting, I don't want to share nothing about this, even though this could help another woman or this could help another person. But they rather live in secret with it and move away, or just don't want people to know about it, because people still to this day don't know how to perceive HIV and AIDS, and it's still a big stigma around it.
Yeah.
But all at the same time, too, though, the question is, who asked and say, are you okay?
Exactly.
Do you need anything?
Mm.
Making it all about it's your fault or this or that. But what about what you need? I'm here for you. No matter what time of night it is, I know you have a mind-blowing experience, you know, going on or got this news, but I'm here.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not even about that. I'm not going to change when that's what a lot of people do. They change when when your status comes out. They change. They look at you as not this beautiful, vibrant young lady that they always looked at you as. Now they're looking at you and like, we need to go over here.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to stay and form the circle that bonds all of us together, to whether you're positive or negative, but we're still here to help each other.
And to learn from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's a good point. And people sometime, well, who was it? Of course, because that's the hot media story, right?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
again, how about Kecia? What can I do for you? But
Yes.
that's the world we
Yeah.
live in. Now, I want you all give us some statistics. Give us the latest statistics out there. You, Kecia, J, Erica, Chelsie, give us some statistics. The high schools, the middle schools, the Black community, Black women. Just give us the statistics.
I feel like in the Black community, in the schools, and especially with people, we have a high rate of pregnancy. We have a high rate of IS and STDs, even in children that's 14, lowest to 10. And that's something that we really need to work on, because I don't feel like we're having conversations with the children. We're not in the schools as much as we need to be. Just like we say, the children need a village, the parents need a village too. And we need a safe place and a place to create where some people don't have big mama. So how do we raise these children? How do we teach these children this and this and that without doing this? So I feel like we need to be more in a form for within ourselves with parenting, and how can we be better as people. Like, we wait, what can we do, or how can we make this better? What kind of change are we gonna give today?
But Dr. Dunn, all at the same time, we got to know that there is 16,500 people that are living out there with HIV in Alabama. And guess what? Half of them probably don't know it.
Mm.
I'm living with it and don't even know it.
Wow.
Because you go to the doctor don't always test you for HIV. You have to ask, and if you don't ask, then you'll never know. So that's why we're every day making sure that we are out there testing in the rural areas and everywhere. But it's just everywhere. We go to the schools. But we don't go to the schools. We don't test in the schools, but we do go to the schools and educate. And we also, when we're out in the community, if a parent come up and say, my child is 14 or my child is 15, I would like to give you consent to test, then we'll do that because their parent give us that permission. But yeah, it's rough. It's the numbers out there. Imagine 16,500 people living that do not know they're HIV positive, and each one of those sleeps with one person that sleeps with somebody else, that sleeps with somebody else, that sleeps with somebody else, and you don't know
Wow.
it. So you're already inviting 10 other people into your relationship, and no one knows the status of no one in that circle. So the risk is going on and on and on an everyday basis.
That's why we promote safe sex. Also, we promote our no. That's
Yeah.
why we say abstinence and celibacy. If you
Yeah.
are going to do this, make sure you have this person. You know this person.
Yes.
This person is comfortable with you and you're comfortable with this.
You know what, Keisha J, let's talk about, and that's good because that is that one person, and they don't know. Keisha J and Erica and Chelsie, I want to start this question with you, Keisha J. Do you think that there is a lack of compassion for those living with HIV AIDS than those with other diseases? Like, oh, we feel sorry for the person with cancer and maybe diabetes and but there is a lack of compassion for those living with HIV AIDS. Do you find that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will definitely say, navigating my cancer journey, it was proven that you definitely get a different type of sympathy when you talk about cancer versus HIV AIDS.
Wow.
Um, and it's crazy. You'll be surprised when I tell you I had the floodgates open when it got out that I had cancer. I'm talking about checks being mailed in, and people just, "Are you okay?
Wow.
Are you this?" Versus me telling my story for years. It's more so like, "Oh wow, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. You all right?" Almost like you're about to die. But when it's
Wow.
cancer, how can I help you? Let me pray for you. Do you need something? A bill you need paid? Like, it's really crazy. And I was really able to see the difference. Almost even people are more prone and want to hear my living with AIDS story now.
Yeah. Do you all, while Keisha's doing that, do you all find that there's a lack of compassion for those living with HIV AIDS, Erica and Chelsie?
Well, Dr. Dunn, with me personally, I, if if you would have asked me 3 years ago, I probably would have said yes.
Okay.
But now that the 3 years that I've been in this nonprofit organization with Selma Air, there is so much compassion and it's so much that's being done
Yeah.
for them, but you have to be willing to receive it. If
Ah,
I
gotcha.
if I'm giving it and you have a doctor's appointment, you choose to, and we send rides and all that to come to the work, and you decide I'm not getting up today because I don't want to go there, then I feel like we're doing our part. But if you just reach out and fill the gap, and we work to continue to work together, then it'll be more help to be offered. But people just don't want to do right. But as soon as you need something done for yourself, guess what? You're the first one in it. You're the first one. You're the first
Wow.
one. But when it comes down to that self-care that's free for you, and that gives you the opportunity where you don't have to buy that expensive medicine, that is being helped to give to you to keep you going, to keep you flourishing, and then you take up and slap someone in the face like, I don't want that. But then as soon as you get so weak and get out of care, the first thing you do is you pick up the phone. I need you. But what about when we needed you for those doctors 6 months ago to keep us from getting? So like I said, for me, 3 years ago, I probably would have said it wasn't enough being done. But now that I see it on an everyday basis, but it's your choice whether you accept it, it's kind of different for me. And
Okay.
no, it's
Okay.
kind of different.
I
But
would
that's
say,
interesting, Kecia, that you say, well, they were, well, but now, Chelsie, this is a question I have for you. But I like that you said, Erica, you have to, it's for, you have to make sure you accept it.
That's
yes,
right.
But it's a
to help.
process because, like Kecia said, when somebody's given that diagnosis, I don't even want to imagine, right? If that
Right.
was me, I just, but it's a process. But
Yeah.
Chelsie, you know, for those, and we talked about this in Alabama, so we're going to talk about it now. The celebrities, those who are celebrities, those who are notables, who have, it's come out that they have the virus. Do you think that they should be spokespersons raising awareness? Do they
I
have a duty? But if they write a check, I mean, as long as the people in their circle know, should they be the spokesperson for the virus?
I think we had this conversation when we was down there. And
Yeah.
honestly, at first I was like, yeah, they should do this and do that. But at the end of the day, these people are humans too, and they have a life. Whether they choose to do this journey, it is great and it's well appreciated because who could tell anything different besides the person who's carrying this?
Right.
So, but you
Right.
also have to look at check their mental. Like Erica said, did anyone ask if you're okay? Did someone say, how are you feeling to do this? Or looking at the changes or differences that's going to cause in this person's life. Because to this day, from 1995 to 2022, we still have a stigma and it's still not a conversation that's not being brought up in the room. So
Yeah.
I feel like if they want to be spokespersons, that's a great way because who could tell this information than the person who has this and live day to day and everyday life with it, as far as living with their family, living with their children, going out into America and knowing they're a famous person, and this is a title that's going to be on them every time you meet them or see them in the media. But I feel like that's really up to them to do that. They have a
Yeah.
choice in it. This
Yeah.
isn't HIV is not because the HIV does not have to define you or become your whole life.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to teach people, that just because you have HIV or AIDS, you still could live a life. You still could live a longevity life as well. And sometimes people just want to live that in peace and normal.
Yeah. Kecia J, we were talking about, are people required, everybody's not called to be a spokesperson, right?
No,
Kecia J, everybody's not called to be a spokesperson. And there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's not called to write a book. Everybody's not called to do radio interviews. As long as the people in your circle know, maybe you'll talk about it at your church privately with the youth group. I don't know. But Kecia J, what gave you the boldness? What made you say, I'm going to come out with my diagnosis publicly and I'm going to be an advocate and I'm not ashamed to talk about my status publicly?
You know what it was? It was the lack of self-esteem that I saw amongst women in that industry.
Mm,
Wow. And that it was, to me, it was very disheartening. Seeing women feel like they have to look a certain way, be a certain way, accept certain things just to be accepted or
wow.
be loved by somebody.
Mhm.
And I sat back, and it was probably a couple months after I was diagnosed, and I was about to really like explode. I was like, I gotta talk, I gotta say something. And I ended up going to Hack's Clinic
Mm,
here in Houston, and I ended up meeting, calling for a sister circle. It was a
okay.
paper they had on the wall, and it was Kirby Gray who connected the dots. His ex-wife was Dina Gray, who's a
Okay.
survivor, a long-term survivor. And he said, I want you to share your story at
Okay.
Cashmere High School. And literally, when I shared my story at that high school, you would have been blown away about how the
Wow.
kids were dancing. They could recite every song. It was young girls sitting on boys' laps. And
Mm,
I was blown away. And I got up and spoke. And I told those kids I had AIDS, and the way that I did it, I was hyped up with them. I was reciting songs, and I said, while y'all reciting these songs, you would never know the woman that's reciting it with you has AIDS.
oh,
And the
wow.
whole room got quiet. And
Wow.
in that moment, it was doctors quiet, it was radio station people quiet. And in that moment, I said, this is what I'm supposed to do. Because
That's right.
these individuals really believe that
Wow.
you
Yes.
have to look a certain way
Yes.
to have HIV/AIDS.
Yeah.
Or you have to
Erica, you weigh in on that. I heard you chiming in when she said the look, because that was one of the things. Is there a look? It's not like, we see in the movies, the sick person with the blanket in the wheelchair looking
Yes.
about, you know what I mean? Erica,
It's
talk
the
about the look.
it's the look. The look
There
of
is
the
no look. You know what I
that's why
mean?
that's why there's no look because the man and now I want to bring this into foreplay because the man that stands behind the pulpit has
Hmm.
no look.
Mm-hmm.
He has no look. The sister that's standing in the choir, she has no look.
Hmm.
And we get so caught up on the person that over there that's sticking a needle in their arm, but we have to understand they might have already know the education of HIV. They're using a clean needle. They're not
Hmm.
using a dirty
Yeah.
needle and using it with another friend, another friend, another friend. But the pastor or the sister that's in the choir, she's doing all this different stuff and different stuff and different stuff, but she's not being careful, or he's not being careful. But here, this junkie or this person that's battling a drug addiction is over here. We pass judgment on them more quicker than we would with anybody else because of who
Hmm.
they are. Because of who they are. And you
Wow.
know, they're nothing but a child of God that have fell short somewhere. And
Come
they're
on
anything
now.
along the way, they're gonna get better. But if we pass judgment on right then and there because of who they are, guess what? We just lost one that we could have saved.
And we're no better than the
And
other
we're
people.
no better.
Yeah.
And that's what Keisha, you touched on that. You said you got such an outpouring of letters and money when you had cancer, but no love, for HIV. And I'm telling you, it's interesting because and let's think about this. Let's talk about the judgments, the discrimination.
Yeah.
Oh, let's be honest. Oh, she
Yeah.
just a tramp. She sleeps around. No, no, no. Or do you see sometimes it's a double standard with women versus men, Keisha J? Sometimes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I've had people ask me, "Are you sure you got it from him though?" So, but are you sure? And it's just kind of like, what would make people
like you've slept with 20 men.
right? And my thing
Yeah.
is like, what would make you think that I don't know? But and I'm gonna tell you, there's also a difference on how they treat you versus you being born with HIV
Mm,
versus you contracting it.
mm,
Right. So there's a different level of sympathy because and rightfully so to some because they were born with it. They didn't ask for it. Right. So
yeah.
people look at it as for me contracted it, I was irresponsible. Right.
Mm,
I should have taken the time to do my due diligence on the 1-2 and the 1-2. But if we're really gonna be honest, numbers are spiking within women who are married
yeah.
and women who are over the
Yeah.
age of 65.
Yeah.
If we're really going to be honest about it. So it goes way deeper than people thinking that you have to be promiscuous or, you were a prostitute or you were on drugs. It's way deeper than
It's
what meets
way
the eye.
Because Erica and Chelsie, and that's a good point because Cheryl Lee Ralph, who's a proud, she's just an advocate and a real, she really is an HIV. She is raising awareness constantly with her platform, and that's what I love about her. But she said the elderly are getting it in the
yeah.
nursing homes because the only disease they knew about was mono or whatever, right? But grandmas.
Yeah,
They're
grandma.
not using, so, and wives are getting it from their husbands. So Chelsie,
Dominic,
Erica, talk about that. You have
Dominic.
all kind of people.
I was gonna say that. I was just gonna say most times people in marriages and relationships are the people that are contracting HIV. They are
Wow.
their partner and their companion because they don't believe, oh, this is going on and this and that. But married women and people who are in relationships are the highest people who contract HIV. And like
Wow.
Miss J said, a lot of times the women are looked at. It's never, do you think this man, somebody walked up to this man and said, are you sure she gave it to you or this and that? No. It's this and this and that versus with the women. Well, what were you doing? Well, you should have been more careful, or you should have did this and that. Why should I have to be more careful with this person I lay with every night, or this person that I trust my heart, my love, and my soul to? And
That
they
you
go
took a vow.
and that just goes to show you have to stay up on your testing and the things
Mhm.
far as you as a woman, because at a lot of times some things are not being openly discussed. So
That's
just to
true.
keep yourself together, just like Erica said, that's why we go out and do these testing in this area. And to this day, you still have people, as soon as we say HIV test, oh, no, 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 no. You know, and that's
Mhm.
stigma because you don't even know your status. And we had someone that we met, and they said they never took an HIV test.
A day in their life.
And they was very adamant about not taking one. Even
Mm.
though we educating them, we giving pamphlets. And we felt like, okay, we really want you to do this. And we felt like we wasn't completing our job and it hurt us. But only we could do, like Erica said, until they want the help and they ask. All we could do is give them the information, educate them, pray about it, and move on from that. Because we're doing the best we can and we're doing the best help. But I do feel like we as women, we do have to have more conversation. We do have to be more involved with testing.
And with that, I want to say the facts are with this. Now we have to pay more attention to what's going on in our lives and with our partners. Even if you have a guys that all the time they got domino night, they got polo night, they got this type of night, or they got this something or this or that going on. We have to pay attention, even with women's. We have to pay attention because if you're not happy at home, it could cause you to go out to
Do
get
something
with them.
impulsive.
Yes, do impulsive things with the domino night, with the game night. And then when you wake up the next morning, you want to make a phone call because you feel so horrible about what you did the night before with no protection. You know, you're just mad at your boyfriend for the moment and you try something, but you try and the consequences that come behind it the morning after is like lifelong. It might won't change. So, you know, we have to just pay attention to those little things that goes on in our everyday lives because I'm not gonna tell my husband or my girlfriend that I'm on the down low.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. I'm not gonna tell them that because it's not about you right now. It's about me. I'm not even protecting you. I'm protecting myself because I'm doing whatever I want to do and I'm all over the place and I'm not telling you anything about what I'm doing that could harm you in a way that, like I said, is lifelong. And you know, it's hard.
I feel like you have to have respect for yourself as a person and a human being. And that's the number one thing I would say. Once you have respect for yourself, then you'll have respect for others. You have people that actually say, hey, I live with HIV, this and this and that. They tell you what their life story is. They tell you how they contracted. They tell you all these things. And they're in marriages. They are living with HIV and they're with people who don't even have HIV or AIDS. And they're living a long, healthy life. They having children and living through their truth. And sometimes it always starts with just a conversation and education.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to touch on that because Kecia, you have a daughter. She's 4 years old,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I think you know, a year or so ago, or maybe a little over a year, when you were on the show, somebody wanted to do a reality TV show about you to follow your pregnancy, wasn't that? Or
Yes.
and you were like, no, because it's, you know, what did we say? Education, not exploiting, right?
Right.
But I like that you touched on that, Chelsie, dating, because you have people who don't have the virus, who are with someone or who have married someone who don't have the virus. And that's very interesting to me. That's why I think this show is important. Kecia, the father of your child doesn't have it, right?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Your daughter doesn't have it.
No, she's negative.
But here you are with the virus, and I'm sure, and I know someone who does, she's living with the virus, and it was some jealousy among her girlfriends. Well, how did you get a man? And you know,
yeah, that happened.
You see what I'm saying? So Kecia, tell us a little about that because it's real, y'all. I mean, and this is what they said, and I'm not, you know, I'm just, she shared it as well. So I'm just, Kecia, talk about that.
Yeah.
The responses you get.
So many, you know, they joked in Atlanta, and the joke was, man, Kecia be having more men than we do, and she got the virus.
Oh wow! is that hurtful? Is that, or you just like,
No, no,
okay,
no, no. I don't feel away, and my thing is me having men that are interested has nothing to do with me and my virus. It's me and my authenticity, and I'm just
okay,
that girl, you know. Like
okay.
for real, like I got the virus or not.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would always pour that into them, and I was like, men feed, especially men that are not for you, feed off, and they know low self-esteem women when they see it,
Yeah,
right? And I can honestly say that God has blessed me with the ability to be in different relationships. I've only been in three major ones in this whole span, but with men who understand, right?
yeah,
And more so understand because I walk so confidently in it to where they're like, well, dang, okay, so educate me. It always turns into that. They'll have their moment,
wow,
but their moment is more so, man, I hate this happened to you, more
mm,
than, oh my God, I'm gonna get it. It's more so
wow,
like I've had a guy cry. I've had two of them cry. Journey's dad was, very dramatic. And then he had his 24 hours and he got over it. And then we planned to start a family and we have Journey.
okay.
Oh,
So, which is, and again, it's no judgment, just realness, right?
Right. That's
right.
it.
Are we in a place, and Erica and Chelsie, because are people, because where they don't care, or if they love you, they'll love you through it, and they're like, hey,
Right.
just, you know, is that what it is? If I love you, and like Kecia said, I educate you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you're not going to get it from kissing me or taking me out on a date. You're not going to get it from just being around me. But I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting because it's more people than we know who are with somebody who have
Yes.
the and they don't have it, and they have
Yes.
opted to be with somebody with the vibe
Still
because they
saying
love, like Kecia said, they're drawn to her, they attracted to her. They don't care. They're like, I love you. I'm going to get educated, and yeah. So
and
yeah, yeah.
I think that's what so many people are scared of coming out with their truths because they don't know if the it might be one or two that might grab hold to what you're saying and accept it, but then you might have 5 or 10 more that's gonna be like, oh hell no,
Mm,
I'm going the other way. But yet and still though, when you educate them and they're more into you for which for you, your inner self, and not the virus or the what you look, or she don't wear red bottoms, so I don't want her. So they're not into that, but they're more into you for
mhm,
who you are as a person. Then we'll have so many more people that will be ready to tell their truths and tell their
mm,
stories. But when you go by grandma's house or you go by the someone's house and that or friend and they know that you're HIV positive and they pull out this plate and they're
mm,
drinking out this glass and they're drinking out this glass, it puts you in a shell. Yes. That you be like, I can't do this. No matter how hard I try, no matter, I'm going to the doctor, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm still having people passing judgment on me. And I see them and they don't think you notice it. But I do notice if I got this plastic plate and you got a real glass, I noticed that. So,
wow.
it puts you in a it puts you back in
Let's
that.
talk about that. Let's talk about Kecia, Chelsie, Erica. Let's talk about that. You have a
Absolutely.
paper plate.
I
Everybody's eating
definitely
off the glass plates, but you got to eat off a paper plate because we don't want
Ignorant,
your germs
ignorant,
on the good plates. And
ignorant.
let's
This
talk
paper,
about that, y'all. Any one of y'all can
this
start.
this
Keisha,
paper
Chelsie, it
plate,
doesn't matter.
this
Yeah.
paper
Yeah,
plate is
I've actually
ignorant.
had
This
a
paper
relative
plate
throw
is
a
ignorant.
fork away
Oh,
after.
wow, you have?
Yes,
Yes.
and it's just lack of education.
Yeah.
They don't know what they don't
They
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
And that's why I've never ever really taken it personally. But
Yeah.
I will say this, you'll be surprised that a lot of us who are living with it experience the stigma more internally
Mm,
Yes.
than
Yes.
externally.
wow.
Yes. And
You
that's
know,
crazy. And you
it is.
wouldn't think that. You would think more that internally that everybody would be like, oh, I love you, I got you, whatever you need. If you're sick, you can't get up today, I'm there for
Mm,
you. I'm that ring away, I'm that phone call away. But it's not like you said, it's more the people on the outside that really love on you and accept it, and they don't treat you, and they don't have these, because I consider this ignorance. At one
mm,
time I wouldn't have considered it ignorant because I didn't know no better.
Yeah.
But now
yeah,
that I know better, I know that this is ignorance. This is love and peace right here. This is happiness.
yeah,
Because I can give this glass to her. And,
yeah.
and if she was HIV, I wouldn't be worried about getting the virus or contracting this from her, because it's going to come a little deeper than that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So yeah.
And you have people that have a certain type of utensils for Billy Ray coming over. So make sure you get this
Mm.
laid out,
Yeah.
this glass and this fork, and we gotta wash it outside because we don't want to wash it with the rest of the
Yeah,
dishes.
it's crazy.
And
Oh,
that's so
wow.
back to the education is so not in the right place, and some
Mm.
people's hearts are not in the right place, because even if Billy Ray did have this virus, you would, and you're inviting him over to family dinner. Why would you want to isolate him and make him feel some type of way? The world is already against him. He doesn't need the inner people to be against him. But that goes to say the people most closest to you sometimes
Right.
become an enemy, and actually you start seeing real things when certain stuff start happening in your life, especially real things as far as HIV or any diagnosis with any type of health reasons. You start seeing different things because some people don't understand it, some people don't know it, they don't know what questions to ask, and they don't try to educate themselves because they go off of what TV said or what this person said or this and this and that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very true.
It's
Yeah.
bad. It's like,
Well, that's why you're here to educate us. Christmas is coming up. When Billy Ray comes over, don't make him eat off that plastic plate. Let Billy Ray eat with the good. I mean, come on. Yeah, yeah. Now let's talk about this. How is it transmitted? Kecia, J, Chelsie, Erica, either one of y'all. How is it transmitted? Can I
well,
get it? And I'm going to ask some questions. You all say yes or no and give us some insight. Okay. If I use someone's hairbrush who has HIV, can I get HIV?
No,
fiction,
Absolutely
If I
fiction,
drink after them, can I get HIV?
fiction.
no.
Okay. If I sit next to you,
Fiction.
No.
no.
if you cough on me, can I get HIV?
You get
Fiction.
COVID.
Absolutely
You
not.
got
But Kecia, isn't it that we're more of a danger to you than you're a danger to us because of your
Absolutely.
immune system?
Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Like when I was diagnosed, I only had 2 T cells. For
Oh
anyone
wow.
who doesn't know what T cells are, just think of your internal being made up of an army, right? So anybody who's healthy has anywhere from 1,300. Some people have 1,700 T cells who's at their healthiest peak. I only had 2. And
Wow.
ever since being diagnosed almost 16 years ago, I've never really had T cells over 211. Never.
Wow.
Oh,
They've never gone any higher than that. Right now, I'm probably at 182.
Wow.
Because of course cancer didn't help that. So I'm saying that to say, so somebody around me who has their own thing going on, or who has a
yeah.
flu, or who has a cold, you're more of a detriment to me than I am to you, because I am undetectable, right?
Mm.
Which means I'm untransmittable.
That's right.
So there's
That's
nothing that
right.
I can do to you. Prick of a blood on the finger, none of that will affect you. But you and your germs from your flu and your
Yeah.
COVID
yeah,
can kill me.
yeah.
Mm.
What you say, Keisha? U equals
Y-
undetectable. You got to know
yes,
U equals.
yes, undetectable equals untransmittable, which is
Oh,
is
okay.
the whole explanation as to
It's a
why
whole,
my
yes.
daughter is here and she.
Okay. Okay.
And
Now this is because okay, but the thing is, y'all, and let's just have an honest conversation. With all these new stories coming out, with all that they're discovering, can we say it's only through bodily fluids? Or, oh, well, maybe what if or 10 years from now they're gonna tell us, oh, it is if you drink after someone. I mean, or is it straight fluids and that's what it is, sex? And because some people are like, well, they said this, how do we know it's not going to be this that? Just
I
read the
don't.
facts, read the
Yeah. Read the
yeah.
fact. I don't think it's gonna change from where we are right now, right, Keisha? I mean,
No,
I'm just asking you. I mean,
not at
it's either
all.
Okay.
mother to child. blood to blood contact, semen, body fluids, those things like that, breast milk, those things. Those are the important things that they need to know. All this other stuff is just other stuff.
Yes.
That's out there.
If I kiss you, I get it. If you drink something,
if that's the
drink,
case, we kissed back in the day. They said you got the cooties from him. So what is the cooties? We never knew what the cooties was. All we knew is you just didn't want us to kiss that little boy no more. Exactly. But it was called the cooties. But come on, it's just facts. It's just what it is.
But Kecia touched on it. We're more concerned, and that is a good point. Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Don't get pregnant, but you don't talk about it. So it's time for parents to start talking to their kids instead of when they go to college. Don't come home with a baby.
Yes.
Let's get educated.
Sometimes when they're at college, they're running wild because they haven't been educated or had those conversations that they needed to have. So you say don't come back with a baby, but you didn't say don't come back with HIV or STDs or STI. You didn't say that. I didn't know about that. I didn't have a baby, but I have this. So that's why it's very important that we sit down with our children. We teach our children. We put them in the light and in the motion where we want them and how we want them to be raised, because they're around tens and tons of other children. Ooh. So they need to be a force and they need to be a leader to teach these other people. So out of a room of 10 children, let one of them be a leader and an educator to make their other peers want to be educated and follow in the footsteps.
Yes.
What should the role of the church, the school system, the community be to help with HIV prevention? See, because the church, you have many churches now who have HIV ministries. They're doing HIV testing. But I'm sure there's much work in the schools because the system, that's another, the districts. But what should be the role of churches, schools, the community? Any of you all can answer to help with prevention.
The church is not going to change until the church identifies the stigma within the church.
Yes.
So there's nothing that the church can do for us externally until they understand and acknowledge the healing that needs to happen with people in their congregation who are positive internally.
And are positive internally, and also who are predators that prey on the children in the church, the weak mama that doesn't have the money to feed her children, and they become, I want to be Uncle Johnny, and then Uncle Johnny turns into someone who's a predator, who has HIV, who's sleeping with the mama, who's, when the mama go to work, coming over there sleeping with the children, the daughter and the sons, and and they have to, in the churches, the church and the schools and everything else got to have an open mind to be willing to open up and really allow the education and the outpouring of help to come into those organizations like that, so that we can protect our kids. Because when I think about, even though it's off the subject a little bit, even I think about the little young girl in Houston, in Texas, that got kidnapped from the FedEx. That's a whole person that's in a uniform
that's right
to deliver a package to everybody's houses. He couldn't have just stopped there that day. He could have went on to somebody else's house after he done did whatever he did to her. And
that's
went
right.
On to the person. But they prey on them because we have our backs and our minds turned for a moment. It don't take but a moment for us to get distracted for something like that to happen. And then when it happened, we're faced to live with it, because we was in the bathroom sweeping the floor or something, and then you say, if I wasn't in the bathroom, this wouldn't happen. And then we have to be willing to hear the truth, hear the children when they say, Uncle Johnny touched me, Sister Lily came over here and she made me do these things to her. You got to be willing to hear that and be able to process. And you know what I'm saying? And not say, you shut your mouth up, you go in the room. You don't say that, because Uncle Johnny ain't touch you. Uncle Johnny ain't like that. You don't know Uncle Johnny. What Uncle Johnny do when he out your sight?
But I like that you said, Kecia, we don't and you hit it on too, hit on it too, Erica. We don't want to talk about it. It's
Mm-mm.
ugly. But shout out to all the churches who are. Wheeler
Absolutely.
Avenue Baptist Church has a HIV awareness. They have a HIV ministry. Um and I think many are starting to get it. But
Yeah.
but they don't, it's uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
It's we don't know, let's not talk about that, but you have many in the congregation, like you said, Kecia, who are living with it. um so, and we can't act like it doesn't hit the Black community. The statistics y'all talked about, the
Yeah.
numbers, you have
Yeah.
to address
It's,
it.
it's,
But if you don't know
it's,
how, that's when you bring in Erica, that's when you bring in
yeah.
Kecia,
Yes.
that's when you bring in people who can talk about it.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. They're letting us talk about it, but they ain't letting us test yet, though. Let me set up a
One,
table.
you know what, one step at a time.
I take one step at a time, but me, I'm so
But we
big.
need more than that. Yeah, we need
I'm
more than
ready.
that.
And I really believe if the church was to actually let you put on a wellness event,
Oh,
bring
yes,
in
yes.
some people with the blood pressure, with the mammograms and different things, and let us bring the HIV in.
That's
Let us
good. That's good.
for Health Day for the church. Let us
That's
be more
good.
open to that, and don't everybody stay at home because we putting on the program today. When you put on the pastor program and you put on the usher board program, everybody then is saying the best. When we have the wellness program, put it on your best and come on over there and let us swab your mouth. Let us
Yeah.
do that. Let's know your status. Let's get more in tune with knowing your status. We got to get more in tune with that
Because
because
y'all talked about the pastor, the person in the choir, Kecia, why not just let's talk about it? But it's how you talk about it, right? But
Absolutely.
we got to talk about it, because if it's going on, and if but they don't know how to talk about it.
The
Right.
And
delivery.
all the church sometimes knows how to do is talk church.
Yes.
You know what
yes,
I'm saying? Because I've talked to, look, I did my domestic violence show. Pastor, he was trying to help, and they said, you tell him if he leaves, if he hits you again, you gonna leave him. Well, she did, and he ended up killing her. Miseducation. All the church sometimes knows how to do is church. So that's
that's
why
right.
it is important we get educated, because you
That's
got your
right.
teen, you got your graduation teen program. Those teens are about to go to college.
That's right.
It's time to
Everybody.
educate our teens. But y'all, now look, let's switch to this topic. Kecia, and I want to start with you with this, okay? And let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
Um, because there is discrimination. There is discrimination that takes place. But I want to know, let's talk about how it makes you feel. Being uneducated, it can, because Kecia is a strong sister, but everybody's not like strong like Kecia. There are people who may
Right.
go commit suicide. They may not go get a counselor and therapist. They're depressed, and if their friends are making them eat on a paper plate, right? Then talk about how it makes you feel. How someone living with the virus, Kecia, when we don't treat you with compassion, what that can do.
I'm gonna tell you, for me, it lights even more of a fire flame up under me to let me know there's more that I need to do.
Okay.
And I understand that that's not that same sentiment for everybody.
Right, right.
Right.
I know that a lot of advocates that advocate are still very much hurting because they have yet to get over their own internal stigma, and yet have yet to realize that they need to have compassion for themselves.
Oh, wow.
Some have been living for 15 years and still have not gotten over the fact that they are diagnosed, that they're living with it, that they feel ugly, they can't date. The world sees them as disgusting. And we advocate, right? However, the advocacy community can tend to just advocate to each other, right?
Ah.
It's easier to advocate to each other because you're not going to tell me I'm gross. You're not going to tell me I'm this. You're not going to tell me I'm a hoe. You're not going to tell me that, because we identify. But when we step outside the box and we go speak to the social medias and the TikToks, and we go into these places that nobody wants to go to, because I know 80% out of the 100 people are going to tell me that I'm nothing and I'm disgusting. But those are the places that we have to be in, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So the compassion has to start with you. right? So you
Yeah.
start seeking validation about compassion from other people when you have yet to have compassion for yourself. And a lot of it has to do with doing that self-work even after you're diagnosed. It was a
Mm.
lot of self-work that I had to do because my ideology of self-love and self-care and self-value was very demented, right? So I had to really do a lot of work in that department before I could go and speak boldly and not give two craps about the 16 ill your gross comments under my post or if somebody
Mm.
posted me,
Wow.
because I knew who I was and I knew what God called me to do. Those
Wow.
16 or 16,000 comments meant nothing to me.
Wow. Chelsie, and that's powerful. It's amazing to me. Social media is just, I mean, we don't, it's a bullying going on with adults too.
Yeah.
Why not just keep scrolling or put up some prayer hands? But it says something about someone's spirit if you say, "Ooh, ooh," it's really a sad world. Chelsie, when someone tests positive, right? When you have given a HIV test and it's positive, what do you tell them? Because I'm sure it's shock. It's and like Kecia J said, 15 years, some people still haven't accepted it. You know, it's a process for them. What steps do you take? Do you recommend therapy, counseling, support groups? What is the immediate steps?
Well, the immediate step one is to not panic and not to, the same way I gave this person this negative test, it's going to be the same way I give this person this positive test. We're going to tell them to come into our office so we can make preparations to make sure that this is actual positive test. So we go to a blood stick, and then we go ahead and we go to, how can we get you in our program? We go into therapy sessions. We go into
Okay.
counselors. We set you up with support groups. We have our own lab that you could go to. So therefore,
Okay.
if you're not in a financial place, you have it where we have this support for you. So the resources are there. You just have to accept it. And you know, just like if I say, hey, you actually was negative, I'm gonna say that the same way I'm gonna say it to a positive person, because you don't want them to feel like, oh, you did something wrong. Like Kecia J said, we don't want you to feel like you're ugly, you're disgusting, you're embarrassed, because you didn't do nothing wrong.
Hmm.
All we could do is move forward from the situation, and we're gonna be uplifting in this moment, because right now, like you said, this is the news. You never know how these people can handle it, what they're going through. And I applaud anybody with HIV and AIDS, because they are really the real VIPs. Because
Mm.
you're living, you have to change your life. And like she said, she had to do a lot of self-love and self-reflect. And
Yeah.
before she could go out and do this, she had to make her own armor to
Yeah.
protect
Yeah.
and her mindset and her space before she go out here and share it to the world. This is how I feel, and this in my story. And you know, I
Yeah.
applaud for that, because we still have people to this day that are in denial and don't want to do it. So we
Mm.
need people like you, so they know, hey, she's just like me. She could do it. I could do it too. And they can reach
Mm.
out to you, hey, what are some of the things you did, or how did you get to this strong place you're in? Because every day ain't gonna be a happy day, but you
Mm.
still live for tomorrow. And while you're living, you have a purpose, and you're helping these people. And that's why she said sometimes people are not made to be on talk shows, or people are not made to be a
That's
spokesperson.
right.
But once you
That's
get
right.
your light and you learn how to move through your path, God is gonna abundantly bless you, and you're gonna see
Mm.
those blessings, and you're gonna see the help that you're getting to the community. So we do have those resources for those people. If you need counseling, if you need someone to talk to, we have a hotline. If you need housing, we help you with that. If you need,
Financial.
yes,
Financial.
yes,
Okay.
financially. If you
You
need
well,
Resources. You pay for the medications.
yes.
yes,
How much are the medications, Kecia J, for you?
Well, they're free. You know, they have different
Okay.
programs because they do have Ryan White. So whatever the state
Okay.
doesn't cover, you can always go through Ryan White.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And that's
Keisha, have
good to
you ever heard
know.
of Busky?
Heard
Busky,
of
like
what?
Busky,
Mm-mm.
but okay,
Mm.
like Busky is like another program that we use, and and it's like for men's. You know, we
Okay.
normally try to have male support groups and stuff, and it falls up under Busky where we can't forget about them,
yeah,
because you
Yeah.
got some
Absolutely.
that actually that really would come out, need the
Yes.
support, want to talk about it, want to get help figure out how to get this stigma off of him so he can still be the man that he is without it being a problem. So, we have those type of support groups for men and women, and then we have them together where we can listen at them, listen at their
Yes.
ideas, get a better understanding of what we can do as a nonprofit organization to help make things better for you. But again, it goes back to when I say you have to have that, like you said, that inner love. So I need you at your appointments. I
Yeah.
need you for your labs. I need you for, to bring that bill over here so that I can help you so your lights don't get cut off. Don't come
Hmm.
and want me when your lights cut off. I need for you to want me when I'm trying to do the right things to make sure that you stand on the right track. So yeah, that inner love it plays a big role to me.
It does.
If
But us showing love. How about us
yeah,
all showing love
Yes.
yes,
and compassion?
yes,
Because when I started the show, I said, "Look, man, that could have been me." And
yes.
y'all, and we sitting up judging. Oh well, if she hadn't have done that, she hadn't. Okay, but you married. But don't forget, before you met your husband, y'all been married 20 years, but
Oh,
you were a different
wait a
person in college. There's some stuff he don't know you were doing.
minute.
Uh, you see what I'm saying? So let's be mindful and let's show love and compassion, because that's
Yes,
what Jesus is about.
that's what
Yeah.
he's about. And
Man,
this
he's
is and
about
this
showing
time of,
love.
and this what this time of the year is about.
Yeah,
So and
yeah, right. But it should
love
be
that.
365.
That's right. Right, but I love that World AIDS Day is December the 1st because
Yes,
it
yes,
starts with the season of Thanksgiving has came in,
yes.
and then we're here, and it helps us to just love on them more because like we at our organization
Yes.
we do baskets, and each one of us will get like $40 worth of different items of all kinds of different items, and we put them in baskets, and that's what we give to our special ones. We give
That's
that to
good.
them as a token of our love, and
That's
that
good.
just show them that even though sometimes I might can't pay your bill, but
Yep.
guess what? I have something else that can help you with your bathroom, with your kitchen, with whatever, and just let it do what it needs to do for you at that moment because we love you. We
Ladies,
love you.
it's starting with you. Y'all are
Yes,
starting and it's trickling
yes,
through the world, right? That's what it's about. Now,
yes,
before we end this segment, I
yes.
want to hear from each of you. Whatever you want to say. We'll start with you, Chelsie, then you, Kecia J, and then you, Erica. Just any final words you want to say, and then your contact information if people want to find out more about what you all do.
One thing I would say is I really, really, really appreciate this opportunity. Not only am I learning things every day, just like Miss Kecia J, she's teaching me things too because I'm actually talking to a person, I'm talking to a woman, I'm talking to a mother, and this is a real talk. So I would say anytime you need anything, anyone, even if y'all have questions, if you don't want to X on the show, you can always my contact information is on social media. You can look up Selma Air in Selma, Alabama. Even if it's just you want to have a phone conversation, we are here for that. We are here to any way to support you, uplift you, and motivate you. So I'm really really grateful that you gave me this opportunity to be on this show and to actually be able to share some of my insight and some of the knowledge and education that I have experienced since I've been working with Selma Air or been on my journey with She's Ready and HIV and AIDS and learning things and just trying to get the community in a place where we all could come together and we're all standing as one instead of divided. And
Oh, that's good. That's good.
you
You, Erica. Oh,
can,
were you done, Chelsie? I'm sorry.
yes, yes.
That's good. You, Erica.
Well, for me, I'm just want to say that I really truly enjoyed this opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that I got a chance to meet you,
Yes.
run
Yes,
into you,
yes.
because what they say, God put you in places at a certain time and sometimes for certain,
Yes.
and the reason that He put you into our lives is because we love what we do,
Yes.
and this platform that you have us on right now, it has just like I just really believe it's going to open up so many more
Yes.
doors to help us get the understanding and to be able to help everybody, not just in Alabama.
That's
So
right.
we're going to be statewide. We're going to be out there. We're going to be able to reach and be able to receive any information that someone gives to us, and be able to help our knowledge become more open to the process of what we're going through. And Kecia,
Yeah.
I just want to say to you, because I love what you do, and we have little shows that we have people come on and they tell their stories, and I have met a lot of strong Black women, and I want us to continue to be that strong Black women's for them, and be able to get us some more strong Black men that not afraid to
Yeah.
be on the platform, to be able to sit here and talk and have those hard discussions that they don't want to hear, but we want to hear, because we want
Yeah.
to learn more. We're eager to learn more and to grow. And I just thank you all. I love y'all. And like I said, Selma Air, our doors are always open for you all whenever y'all need us. And you can, our phone number is 334-872. You want to call it? 872-6795. Selma Air.
Okay. Say it again.
334-872-6795. And
What's the website?
we are at selmaair.com.
Okay.
.org.
selmaair.com.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, Kecia J.U., final comments and your contact information.
Absolutely. First off, anybody who's watching this, I want you to know that HIV is not the root of the issue, right? Generational curses are, mental health
Wow.
is, silencing, rape, molestation, lack of education is the root of the issue. HIV/AIDS is just literally the branches on the tree.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. Perfect. I love it.
Gets root. You know, and to y'all's point, my family, my grandmother is from Selma, Alabama. And so she was the main one that was, when she heard I had the virus, she whispered and said, "You think you want to tell people that?" And all I could do was laugh, is because I understand where she's from. You know, her two of her brothers actually walked with Dr. Martin Luther King. So I understand her thought process on why would you want to.
And then she don't want you hurt. She don't want her grandbaby hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But then it also put me in a place of, the root, the generational cycles, of low self-esteem in my family. Women who don't talk about depression, who have relationship issues, who don't know their value. They have money and success, but that doesn't mean they know their value.
That's right.
So it's so many roots to issues and roots that people don't want to address. And they think just by, coming up with PrEP and HIV/AIDS and advocating and having big conferences is going to heal and stop the epidemic. And it's not. Until you really get in there and do gardening and pull them roots up, we're going to always have this problem.
And that's what I was thinking. When you said self-esteem, I said the root. Generational curses. That's
what it is. Our grandparents don't want to talk about it. Our parents don't want to talk about it. And all we're told is, don't bring home a baby, go get a degree. Now we know the value of a degree. Not saying don't go to school, but you have 21-year-old millionaires who come from a home who've never gotten a degree, and they have a better palette of life than the pension plan and the job that our generation has told us to get. So I would say to everyone, focus on doing that inner work, and the outer work will transform itself, right? Because when you do that inner work is getting close to God, right? So when you get close to him, he puts all the outer stuff in place that we be trying to control. So all of that really helps with killing the epidemic, because when we do that inner work, we know our value, and there's not a soul on this planet that we're going to allow to sleep with us, and we don't know their identification in terms of their sexual health. So we just got to do some root work, and I mean real root work, and then, real root work, and we'll see some change. But it has to be more people who are vocal, and I appreciate you ladies for doing the work that you do in Selma, Alabama, because we all know Alabama is below the Bible Belt, and it's very tough to get them to talk about it. But I would love to collaborate and do something with you ladies and bring my empowerment tour out
All
there.
right.
Because my family, like I said, my grandmother's from Selma, so and Mobile and Selma is where my grandmother's side of the family is.
It's a small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I told you this platform and this circle is just gonna grow so big that they can't help but to see us. When we get done doing what we're doing, they gonna say there was some bold women, boy. There was some bold women. They did good. Because guess
And
what?
you know
we're
what?
gonna talk about it and we're gonna keep
Yes, keep talking about it. Nikisha, what's your contact information?
Now you can follow me on I am Kecia J for everything. I am KeciaJ.com. I am Kecia J on Instagram. Instagram will lead you to pretty much everything. It will lead you to my website, all about me. You'll learn more about my story. If you want to learn about my cancer journey, it's sheiscancerfree.com. I am in the middle of a tour now where I am going city to city and doing a health and wellness empowerment tour. Okay. Educating. The basis is educating on cancer, but I also educate about AIDS because had I not had the AIDS virus, I would not have been so prone to get the stage of cancer and rare cancer that I did get. So they both go hand in hand. No, but I definitely want to go wherever I can. You know, I think we get so caught up in doing things in a big way when we really need to go tackle things in a small way and make huge impact.
I like that you said that. A big conference is great, but did we touch on the root of the issue?
Mm-hmm.
We're given a bunch of education. We did tests, but did we address the root of maybe what was the reason that person contracted it?
Yeah. You
right?
know, not everybody has $297 for you to teach me how to be a boss and get a self-care journal. Not everybody has that. You know, not everybody has that. Some people have $5 and a quarter tank of gas and really need empowered and uplifting. And, you know, sometimes you just need to just be there and pour into people. And I'm telling you, it's always going to be purpose over payment for me because God going to always cash my check.
Girl, now that's another topic for another. That journal in the boss package is a popular thing. But what's in the journal, y'all? It's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on out there, and then half the people, some of these people selling empowerment, they need empowering. But that's another topic, and you know, the Dr. Dunn can go there. That's why, y'all, my tagline is I keep it candid, but I keep it in Christ. Because if I don't keep it in Christ, this gonna be a whole nother show. I might have some of what's in that glass Erica had in there. That little example. I don't know what was in there, but hey, no judgment, just realness. But hey, and look, all y'all got the beautiful glasses memo. All y'all looking cute in your glasses. So
thank you.
Ladies, I want to say Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. God bless you all. I want to thank everybody who's listening online and who's listening through the app. And if you did catch it, if you did watch it, thank you so much. But I will be putting this on my YouTube channel and my podcast platform, so you'll get to listen and watch as well as much as you like. I want to thank Kecia. I am Kecia J. Trademark. Don't get it twisted, boo. And you see how we put the trademark on the flyer, Kecia. We don't respect it. See, the Dr. Dunn got the registration mark. I tell people if it ain't on there, that ain't my name. My name ain't spelled right. Please put the registration mark. Hello. And then we want to thank, because it ain't spelled right. If the mark ain't on there, that's part of my name. You spelled it wrong. Go ahead, please. But hey, respect. I am Kecia J. Thank you so much, Erica and Chelsie. Bless you all. Have a very Merry Christmas, ladies.
Same to you, Dr. Don.
God bless.
Well,
I'm going to speak this into existence. I can't wait to see y'all again.
Oh, yes. I was just about to say, there will be a, not a replay, but a reunion. Can I say that?
Yes.
Come on now. And look, I'm saying it publicly, right? I'm not going to delete that part out of when I upload it on YouTube. So not a replay, but we're going to have a reunion soon. And don't hesitate to reach out to the Dr. Don maybe in January, February. The Dr. Don, remember when you said, okay, let me get that back on the schedule. So, hey, we're going to have a reunion. Very, very important. We got to talk about it. Maybe we can get some men to talk about it.
Yes.
As well. A married let's just let's talk about how we can do this, ladies. So we will be having a reunion. How about that?
Yes.
That's right. So thank you, ladies. God bless you.
God
Thank
bless you
you.
too. Thank you so much.